Okay, this is part two because I think I said my friend's name on accident. I forgot to mention as well. There was five people there, so it was the drug dealer girl, it was Roman, it was Mark, and then this girl that was dating Mark at the time that I'd been friends with for like a long time because she knew my parents. I'm just gonna call her a bitch because she cheated on Mark, and she was a bitch. She like would not look out for her friends at all, and pretend to, and cheated on all her boyfriends. Just not a good person. But we were really good friends at the time. And my lady. And she was like had some vapes, had some dab pens, and we go back to the truck after like walking around and vibing and shit for like an hour, and we we find out that the truck is broken down, like it's not working, um, and it wasn't the battery, it was some other fucking problem. I can't remember now, but like the truck would not start, and we were like parked at this Valero, and there was a worker in there that was like really chill and trying to help us out. But anyways, Mark felt bad for me, so he gave me the 7 grams of shrooms he had. Um, and I didn't know what to do about the truck. Um, we were talking about getting it towed. We were, oh fuck, I'm gonna get in trouble either way. And so we opted to um, get picked up by um, the bitch's brother, who was a really chill guy. He grew like good weed and had good shrooms and all that. Really chill guy. But he was driving like an hour or something away to come pick us up in the middle of the night, which good on him. Like that's a good older brother right there. Um, yeah, and so we had like 2 hours or something to kill before that guy got there. And so I took the shrooms and I just ate it down with the Sprite. I don't know what it is about when you're young and just desperate to have cool drugs, but I would totally um, be able to just fucking scarf the fuckers down. Like I would never be able to do that now, and I would typically like make a smoothie if I would do that now. I haven't taken shrooms in like over 8 months or something at this point, but I've done acid like a couple months ago, did 2CB like a month ago. I don't abuse any of those drugs like I used to, but I still do some psychedelics here and there. Um, anyways, this was the first time I had ever experienced a trip this potent, and I was not really nervous. I was honestly excited, even though I knew that I had to figure out the situation with the truck. Um, but I knew I was getting picked up, and so I was like, "Fuck it." And we went back over to the pond, and I remember when they started kicking in, it was like almost immediately like I was starting to hallucinate, and have like visuals of the like textures of the cement I was walking on looked almost like artificial or something, or I don't even know how to describe it. It looked like it was like in a video game like Fortnite concrete or something. And we go lay under this tree, and I just realized how much of an asshole I'd been the last couple of months, stealing my parents' truck and going to go sneak out with my friends and do drugs and drive home fucked up, and the liability that could have caused if I had hit someone or, you know, killed someone, if that could have happened. Um, And I was like, I connected to gratitude in a way that I never had before. I go up to the tree and I'm kind of like hugging it and, being like, whoa, I love this tree. And I'd been to this tree a lot of times in the past. It was like a climbable tree that was like by the pond. It was really beautiful. And it was right next to this restaurant that my parents would go to if we were ever like out in town visiting my grandparents or something. And so we would go, I've climbed that tree since I was, like 8 years old or something. And so I'm thinking of all my past memories, like good times with the tree and climbing the tree. And that was caused by my parents allowing me to like be over there and shit. And so I was just thinking like, damn, I'm a fucking asshole. And I was at the time, I really was, at least to my parents. And so I was like, I called it the tree of gratitude after this trip because I reconnected, and I think I stopped sneaking out for the most part after this as well. Um, Probably also because the truck broke down, but I just felt like I didn't need to do it anymore. I didn't want to because I realized what I was doing was fucked up. I remember laying back down in the grass and looking up at the branches and shit from the tree, and it was kind of just squiggling into each other, like the branches were connecting and disconnecting and moving around. But not in a way that was disturbing to me at all. It was like, whoa, this is so cool, you know? And I couldn't think very well. And, not all the mushrooms had, like, probably set in by the time that the bitch's brother got to where we were at to pick us up. And I think Mark and Roman actually had a way to get back, or they were just like within walking distance. They were like a couple of miles and, had a skateboard or something. They both used to ride skateboards back then, so they both probably had a skateboard and, were able to make it back to their place. So I was just with drug dealer girl, bitch, and myself getting picked up in this car from this guy that I never met, but a guy that was really cool. And I hop in the car, and my vision is like, what I'm seeing is like blurry everywhere except for like one like put together kind of like circle or dot in my vision, and it's like twisting and turning. Like that's how, like, I literally couldn't see anymore. uh, which is nuts. And I remember getting in the car, and he had some like weed, and so he was showing me the weed and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And I think he gave me like a gram or something, and I was just like thanking him over and over again, like, man, this shit looks so good, like, thank you so much, man, like, for reals, you're a lifesaver, man, shit like that. I think I paid him like gas money as well. Yeah, just tripping the fuck out. I remember in the car at one point, because it was a bit of a ride, maybe like 25 minutes or something, or like 20 minutes. At one point, I was just like making seal noises, like, like, like just experiencing like all these crazy, like, warping fucking hallucinations where this ball is in the field of my vision and everything else is blurry, and like going in and out of it and that sort of thing. And I get dropped off at at the road to walk back to my place, and I'm tripping the fuck out. I was grabbing so there's a pig pen in the backyard that my parents used to have. There's like there's fencing put in for livestock. And so I was like holding on to the fence, like, oh, if I just keep going down the fence, I'll get to the house. And I actually was sound logic. I did make it to there eventually. At, and I had dropped off the tailgate, which is illegal as fuck and it's stupid as fuck. Like I could have got pulled over so easy, but I dropped the tailgate out in the front yard, and so my parents were gonna find out in the morning. But in the meantime, I wasn't gonna tell them or wake them up or anything. I was just gonna trip the fuck out and deal with this heroic dose that I had. And I used to have to climb this wooden fence in my backyard to get back into my window that I would sneak out of. And so I was like climbing the fence and like having trouble, and I remember it feeling like it was falling, but it wasn't. I would be like leaning and be like, whoa, this thing is fucking leaning. And it wasn't, or it probably wasn't. Uh, and getting back into my room, and for maybe 3 to 4 hours at least, I was just sitting. I had, my phone was back in my room. Like I could have played, I could have talked to somebody, I could have done anything other than what I did. But I just sat there with my blanket like up to my like face and being like, well, like just making the weird noises, just being like, whoa, whoa. And like every couple of seconds it would be like, oh my god, this is so bad. And I would like freak out, and then I'd calm myself back down. And there was like, it was dark in my room while I was experiencing this, so I was just seeing all this crazy shit when I would close my eyes. And like being like, okay, I need to close my eyes, and then closing my eyes, and it would get too intense, and so I'd be like, oh fuck, I gotta keep my eyes open, like. And yeah, in the morning, as I'm like coming down, for the most part, my parents didn't notice until like maybe 11 a.m. And so I think I ended up telling them and being like, yeah, we gotta go tow this car, I'll pay for it, and da 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 da. Um, and I obviously got in trouble or whatever, probably. I was already in trouble at that point all the time. And so, yeah, I mean, it ended up being fine. I wouldn't say that it was traumatizing or a bad trip. It was just really intense. And, yeah, I wanted to make a video about it. Anyways, this is all alleged. Um, Nothing I post is genuine. And, I appreciate it if you came across this.